Right, thank you. So, do you mind introducing yourself? Tell me about you. Tell me about your past. Tell me about your present. Tell me about what you're hoping to achieve in the near future. Stuff like that.
Okay, so my name is Akinade Jesuferanmi. I'm currently a student, 500 level student, I'm majoring in computer engineering right now. And I've been for the most part, I've been a graphic designer for about the past 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years. And I decided to pick up product design and UI UX earlier this year. And so that's where I'm currently at. And in a few years, I think my journey is currently looking into the product design space, the user experience research kind of thing. And that's what I'm trying to get into right now.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I saw what you filled out in the form. What you want to get in from this meeting? You want to get
Yeah,
started in the UX, job space. You want to know how exactly applications are considered and what makes a good
yeah,
CV. Okay.
yeah.
So have you started applying for jobs?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Barely because I'm new to LinkedIn as a whole. So I just finished my LinkedIn profile. I have a CV or a resume already prepped now. So yeah, I've started applying. I haven't gotten any responses back yet. Uh, even like denials or nothing. But yeah, I have started applying for
When did you
jobs
start applying
on
for
LinkedIn.
jobs? When?
That would be about 2 weeks ago when I finished my LinkedIn uh
Yeah,
profile.
about 2 weeks ago. Okay. What kind of jobs have you been applying for?
Uh,
Kind of companies?
so
Okay, what
far,
kind of companies? Yeah, what kind of companies? Yeah.
I think I've applied to three, uh, companies, I think. One was actually because I should have mentioned this when I was talking about my past. I used to be an esports manager in Africa, and so I know an organization called Carry First. So they're an esports based company, but they needed a graphic designer. So I did apply for that. That might not be concerning to this meeting, but I also saw a job opening at Jatado where they needed a UI UX lead. I did say I didn't have any experience leading a UI UX team, but I did apply nonetheless. So those are the kind of companies I've been applying to so far.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned Africa. Where are you based?
I'm currently in Nigeria.
Okay. 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 All right. So let's see. Do you have a CV? Do you have your CV
Uh,
here?
yes, I do.
Okay. Do you have a link to it?
Let me check. It's uploaded to this drive.
Okay. And have you worked on projects that can make your portfolio? You can make up your portfolio.
Yeah, I have a portfolio. I have a Behance portfolio,
Okay. Just share
and
with me the links if you can, as soon as you
uh,
can.
one sec.
All right. So while you're doing that, these jobs you've been applying for, have you been using cover letters?
Uh, no, I don't think so. What's the cover letter, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, I'll touch on that in a bit. Okay, all right. Okay, cool. So where would you say you see yourself? A junior, a mid, or a senior designer?
Uh, Considering my lack of experience, I would say I'm probably somewhere between the junior to a mid-level designer.
Okay.
Uh, I have worked in companies before as an intern, but I still see myself to the junior to mid-level at best right now.
Okay. All right. Can you share your portfolio? I've seen the
Doing that right now. Uh, Coming, I'll send a proper link. Give me one sec. it is.
Gotcha. Okay, so will you say you're a creative person?
I would say that, yes.
Why do you say that?
I've always been able to visualize stuff the way people wouldn't think so. Because me and my mates, we might be working on a project and we might be talking about making something and something pops in my head. I start sketching. I give them, they're like, oh, wow, that's pretty close to what I was thinking, or that's pretty innovative. So, yeah, I would say I'm an innovative person, a creative
Okay,
person.
okay, awesome. So what kind of job are you looking for?
Something to start with, something that allows me to further my design skills. For at least I'm still thinking I still don't have the skills to lead a team or nothing like that. So I'm looking for a job where allows me to develop my skills, my design skills at least, right now.
Hmm, okay. What is your salary expectation?
Uh, that's what I don't know. If I had to guess for my time right now for the skill level I'm at, I would say something uh around 80 to 120 is
Okay,
what I would have to guess per month.
okay. All right, noted. Okay, so I'm currently looking through your one of your case studies or your portfolio basically. So
Okay.
looking at the one for Spotify. Okay, so carried out some research, right?
Yes, I did. This was mainly focused on the UI parts and not as much on the user experience, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There is some UX points made there, but uh, I would say I focus mainly on making a different version of the user interface.
Okay, so do you have anyone that you would say is heavy on UX?
No, I do not.
Okay.
This is the only case study I have currently
Okay.
on
The rest are graphic
on
design.
UX. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, that's cool. Let me just quickly note some things down. Okay, so you kind of have more project based on graphics. But you have
Yes.
one case study. You have one, which is
I primarily just started learning it about a month ago.
you started
So,
what?
Figma. I just started learning Figma is about a month ago, so that's
Oh,
why
really?
yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, that's cool. Um, well, by the way, I love your sketches. They are
Thank you
beautiful.
very much.
They are very beautiful. Okay, and for 1 month ago, I would say that your designs, at least up to your wireframes, are not bad. Yeah, I'll say it's not bad. So my major feedback for looking at this case study would be the layout. So your
Okay.
presentation of your case study is not as it's not as it should be. Let me just say it that way. So the homework I'm giving to you is to go and check out what a UX design case study should look like. So some of the
Okay.
things that I'll point out. Well, firstly, the whole color and everything, even of the text and all that, just strip it down, keep it
Okay.
as simple as black and white as possible because
Okay.
it can easily get distracting. Like now I'm so distracted that I'm not even able to read. I'm not able to read some of the important things. Like, okay, I've scrolled through like 3 times now, and I'm only just settling down to read the problems that you've noted down.
I like it.
So,
Right.
yeah. So like Redundant recently played Tab. So when you say from personal experience and digging into a few customer reviews, I was able to establish. So yeah, personal experience counts. However, there should be proper research done into that. So I think I saw something about, yeah, I saw user reviews. So someone said something, another person said something. So that's user reviews are not bad, but I would like you for even this project to go ahead and conduct a proper research on it. So there are so
Right.
many other people that use Spotify. You can do some basic research to ask people, have some questions to document. Um, Document what you're trying to find out, your research goal. What's the goal of the research? How many people will you talk to? In what way are you going to gather this research? Will it be interviews? Will it be surveys? So you need to do some more homework on how
Okay.
research is being done. So even if you would focus more, even if your career will be will be heavier on the UI design part, you need to understand some
Yeah.
UX principles. Yeah. So, but I'll talk about that in a sec. So, moving on, I also looked at I'm looking at your CV as well. It's not bad. It's not bad. You don't need to write Ibadan or your state, Nigeria. You can just say Nigeria. If they want to know, they would
Okay.
ask. Also, objectives. No, I don't think you should say objectives. I think what you can have is more like your summary or your profile. So you write out more like paragraph rather than bullet points.
Okay.
Then skills, that's good. Education, it's good, but it's not relevant to you getting a UX or UI design job. What's
Gotcha.
more relevant is your portfolio. So I expect to see your portfolio somewhere near the top, like a link to your
Okay.
portfolio, very important. I know you put freelancing Behance, but the link is all the way down.
Yeah.
I think what's more important would be the projects that you have put all the way at the bottom should make its way to the top, more like the second thing. Second
Okay.
or third thing should be right at the top because that's what's relevant to you getting the job. Uh,
Okay.
then education should be at the bottom, way at the bottom because it's not relevant.
Okay.
Um, every other experience you've gotten, yeah, that's cool. But if it is not somehow related to your work in tech, it might not also be relevant. So,
Okay.
except if you can somehow link it to like your work in esports. Esports is kind of related to tech. So if you can somehow link it, that's good. If not, you don't need to include fluff.
Let's check it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
just take it out. Your whole CV can be one page and it's great. As a matter of fact, one page CVs are usually the best. You don't need actually your CV should not even exceed 2 pages. That's a rule of thumb.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because these recruiters don't have the time they are not even interested in reading through so many CVs. Just like you're applying, hundreds or even thousands of other people are applying for the same job. So they cannot
Yeah.
read through it all. So those are some things I've been able to figure out for now. Now, what I've been trying to do with all these questions are more like diagnostics, like a doctor.
Okay.
So, so this is first of couple of sessions. I will not be able to dig into deep into looking at your CV and into I've given some feedback, but I won't be able to be as in-depth as you would need. That's why this
Yeah.
one of several sessions. So the rest of the sessions will be starting in January.
Okay.
Either the first or second week in January. There will be 4 sessions, and these 4 sessions would be focused more on you getting the job. It will not be sessions where I'll be teaching basics of programming, of product
Yeah.
design. I mean, I won't be teaching
Yeah.
basics of product design or teaching you how to use Figma or those kind of things. No, it will be more focused on what your LinkedIn profile should look like. How do you optimize it? What kind of platform should you be on to get those jobs you want? Helping you clean up
Yeah.
your CV. Cover letter. Now let me talk about cover letter. So cover letter, um, mm, well, you can easily get dictionary meaning of that by just Googling.
Okay.
However, I'll say that cover letter is like your voice, is like what speaks for you when you're not there. So when you apply for a job and you have a cover letter, it's like how do I usually describe it? I call it like a pre-interview. It's more like
Okay.
you already speaking for yourself while the person is reading your application. It's one of the things
Gotcha.
that can set you apart from every other applicant. So cover letter, because if you Google cover letter right now, you see a couple of templates, but
Yeah, I am. I'm looking
I,
at templates
yeah,
right.
yeah, but I don't ever recommend you go with any one of those templates.
Okay.
Reason is because probably a lot of people too are following those kind of templates. A cover letter should talk about your personality, how you would bring up your personality and your interest to help the company bring more money. That's my formula for an effective cover letter. It's not just one where you list again all the things that are in your CV already, all the things that are in your portfolio. No,
Yeah.
it's not the time for that. It's time for you to do more of highlighting your selling points. For instance, if you're someone that wants to work in what do they call it? Sports tech, for instance. If you want to work in sports tech, you might be highlighting the fact that you have been in esports for a while and your interest for things like that, blah blah blah. You might be highlighting stuff around that. Also, your cover letter should include some of the research you've done about the company you're applying to. So,
Yeah.
for instance, if a company's values are something, 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 you find a way to insert it into your cover letter. If they specifically, maybe in the job description, they mention certain things they are looking for, you find a way to present yourself as the person that has those qualities. So I have not seen a time that an applicant submit a cover letter and they don't read it. They almost always read cover letter, even if they will not go through your CV or your portfolio,
Okay.
especially if it's interesting. At least if the first two lines are catching, they would probably read the whole thing. So
Okay.
that's what the cover letter is, and I'll be assisting with curating one. I won't be doing it for you, but I'll be
No,
assisting
of course, of course.
curating one.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be assisting in helping to basically one that will bring out show the best side of you, and mock interviews too. So that one is more dependent on how proactive you are. So if you're really proactive, you're already going through interview phases and all of that, then I could assist with mock interviews, asking some of the questions that recruiters would want to ask. How many phases or how many stages there are in an average recruitment process.
Yeah.
Also job links, but not because I'll necessarily be sending you job links, but more from the angle of yes, there are jobs out there, but how do you tell the difference between those jobs that Nigerians call one chance, those kind of one chance jobs, and the real jobs? So those are some of the things that I'll be showing or I'll be discussing. And lastly, specializations, which I said I'll touch on later. So seeing that you're someone that comes from graphic design point of view, and from what I've seen so far, it seems you might have more interest in UI design. So that might be something that you are willing to explore, or maybe even a deeper specialization, such as say interaction design, or
Yeah.
just or animations, UI animations. There's several niches that you could say you want to take. I understand how niches could be very fluid. Today or for the next 6 months, it could be something you're really interested in. Another 6 months could be something else. So I totally understand that. But the reason I usually recommend for people to have some sort of specialization is because it is more like an anchor. It's kind of what grounds you. When the going gets tough, That's the thing that would somehow keep you going.
Rely on. Yeah.
Yes. And to be honest, it will get tough. Sometimes you ask yourself what you're doing. Um, yeah, so
Yeah.
those are some of the things that would be doing during the session. It's going to be a group session. It's not a one-on-one. It's going to
Yeah.
be a group session, very small group though, between 5 to 10 people. But it's going to be a group session. It's going to start first or second week in January, and it's not going to be free. It's going to be a paid session. It would cost
Gotcha.
£100.
Okay.
I think in dollars that's about £120, $120, I guess. But basically
Yeah.
£100. And what else do I need to cover? So it's for the whole 4 sessions. It's not per session. I've got people ask
Yeah.
whether it's for all the sessions or whether it's for each session. No, it's for the whole session. And yeah, so there will also be a deadline for showing your interest for paying.
Yeah.
And that is because, which was somehow I think to be around Christmas, but that's
Okay.
because before the session starts, there are certain things I need the people that will be joining, I need you guys to do, such as preparing your CV in a certain way, having at least 2 case studies in your
Okay.
portfolio. So there are certain things I would want you guys, you to have before we start the session, and that's because the focus of the session is not for us to take our time and start working on case studies. Case study can take a while to do. So if we are doing that during the
Yeah.
session, we will not achieve what we want to achieve. The goal of the session is to prepare you to get the job. That is the goal of the session. I'm just bridging the gap between the knowledge you already have or you're getting somewhere and you getting
Yeah.
that job. That is what we're doing. So that is all from me. Do you have any questions?
Okay. Uh, Not a question per se,
Hmm?
but during what I was filling the form, we asked to provide our LinkedIn profile, and I was wondering if you could check mine out to see
Oh
if there's
yeah,
any
I
comments.
checked it. I checked it. Trust me.
Okay.
Wait, I think I even have it opened. Oh no, I closed it. So let me open it again. Let's see. Yeah, I saw it. Okay, so I think what caught my eye was your summary, like your about section. I think
Okay.
it's good, but you don't need to list the companies you've worked with because there's already that section below that is called experience. So you
Gotcha.
need your about section needs to be very like concise. It needs to just be straightforward. There's no need to write too much there. Personally,
Okay.
I don't think you really need to write too much. Let me see what else got my okay. Like you said, it's relatively new. So I would recommend you get followers and stuff is by engaging in other people's content. That's how LinkedIn works. Engage,
Okay.
put out valuable content. It could be some content about something new you learned on with Figma or something you've known for a long time with as a graphic designer, something it could just be stuff around color palettes. It could be anything. You could just put something out, maybe once in a week, once in 2 weeks, just put something out, but more importantly, engage with other people's content, and that's how your followers would increase.
Thank you
Um,
very much.
yeah, so I think that's good. However, there's something even more important when it comes to getting jobs, and that is keywords. So when people tell me, "Oh, there is no job out there, the UX design field is saturated," I don't know. That's not true. That's not true because I tell people like every week I think I get up to at least two new jobs sent into my LinkedIn DM. And I think I figured out why, and that would be because these recruiters do more of headhunting these days rather
Yeah.
than waiting for people to just apply for jobs. They can now go to profile platforms like LinkedIn and type certain keywords, and certain people that pop up, they will look through their profile. If they're interested, then they message them. That's what they do these days. So that's why
Okay.
LinkedIn is so important. Like there's not enough souls for me to put in between. Yeah, so
Gotcha.
to get those kind of really good jobs, I would say LinkedIn is very important. And I think the last thing I want to say is that 80K to 120K is very small, very, very minute
Okay.
what you could actually be earning, even as a beginner level job. I think I never did internship, but I think my first job, it was my first proper job, I was paid 150K. That was just well, it was more like a contract. I think it lasted like 5 months, 6 months. The next I was paid 180. And from there it more like tripled and then on and on and on to multiples.
Gotcha.
So I'm just saying that to tell you that 80K to 120K, I understand you think you've just begun and all that, but even as just beginning, there's a way you can put together your portfolio that no one will ask you how long you've been doing it. Nobody
Gotcha.
really cares whether you've been doing something for 1 year or 2 years or 5 years, even though they might put it in the
Unless you know what you're
description.
doing. Yeah.
Yes, even though they might put it in the job description saying they're looking for someone with 5 years experience, but they don't really care about that. They only care about your portfolio, the quality of the projects in your portfolio, and how you can bring more money to them.
Yeah.
That is all. So,
Okay.
any other questions?
Not from me, no.
Awesome. So I will send you an email with the summary of the stuff we've talked about, some things I noted
Yeah.
about you, and the next steps, including payments and all those kind of stuff, if you're interested in that.
Okay.
So I
Gotcha.
most likely will send that tomorrow. I am
Okay.
buzzed out right now, exhausted. So I'll most likely send that tomorrow.
Okay,
Um,
no problem.
yeah, that's it. So should I expect to see you in January?
Uh, I would hope so. I would try my best to make it. There could be other. I might not, but I'm definitely interested. But
I
we'll
know you're
see.
interested. There's nobody. I don't think anyone would not be interested.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I will send you an email. If you can, that is cool. Try to make it as soon as you can if you think you can make it.
Yeah.
Because once it reaches, like I said, it's going to be a very small session, small class, I mean. I have up to 10 people, I would actually might be refunding people their money because it's very
Okay.
important. Impact is more important to me than the number of people in the class. So
Gotcha.
all right. It's good to chat with you. What's your
Thank you
name?
very
What
much.
do people call you? Okay.
person. They're
Okay.
both my names. So yes.
So Fermi is your first name.
Yes, that's my proper first name. Yes.
Okay, we are namesakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my other names is Olua Fermi. So,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
all right. Good to chat with you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
You too.